I'm back. Today, I'm going to reverse my podcast with my last statement. Slavery was a crime against humanity. The reason why I'm starting there today is because everything about us is always in the back. But today, I'm going to start with us in the front. Crime against humanity. When they put us in them boats and they brought us here to America, Caribbean, wherever black people are today. They worked us, and now we are no use to them. So everywhere they are doing everything in their possible they can do to get rid of us. When me and Mr. Peoples were out there on Broadway in 102nd, every 4th of July, and we everybody came and everybody looking to get some money. What I was there for, in my little way, is to say, what would you do if you got your reparations? All right, some people, well, we ain't gonna get it. Well, that's your opinion. But where I'm coming from now, where I'm starting at the beginning, the Europeans, they came back into Africa in 1884, and they divided Africa into 52 different countries. Some speak French, some speak English, some speak Spanish, some speak Germany, some this and some that, but we're all confused. For the world, if anybody in this world that has a heart in their body just like I do and everybody else do, say that something must be done. I'm not talking about where we just came here as slaves. I'm talking about back to where we were. What we might have been if you never would have brought us here and gave us your language, your religion, your everything about you. I'm looking at where I every day turn on my YouTube and I look at Africa. There's scholars. And the other day I watched 100th birthday of Mandela in South Africa. This PLO Lumumba professor got up there to speak. There was a brother who was mad. He jumped up and I didn't understand what he said, but the brother stood there and listened to him. And then after the brother seen that everybody had listened to him, he sat down. Then Brother Lumumba went on with his speech. And he brought out where they could put a highway from South Africa to Egypt. Then they could have all one currency, one bank. And then I look on YouTube and I see this sister Zainab, and she showed the timeline. And when it gets to 332, she says, the Roman Empire got together and they come up with the concept of Jesus. Then she brings it on and on and on. And then she mentioned that how when the Bible came on the scene, there was this Gutenberg Bible. If I got the print press, I'm gonna write what I want to write in favor of me and my people. Okay. Then you get to when they brought us here in the bottom of the boats. They didn't want us to congregate with one another. So when they did let us, they had their churches, and the slaves, the ones that worked in the house, were privileged to see that what their services on the Sunday. So he took it back to the slaves in the field. So then the master found out, let me give them people a religion so that I can work them to death on 6 days a week, and then they come together on Sunday and say how they feel about everything and sing songs and whatnot, feel good, and then they can go back to the madness again for the next 6 days. Then when they gave us their religion, they had an overseer in the field, made sure that we didn't talk about the master. Then they had to put a overseer in the church so that we didn't say nothing wrong. And just like in that, people said the Bible is God's word. No, it's man's word, the man that printed it. And so what I'm trying to say to my brothers and sisters, when they brought us in the bottom of them boats, we were a spiritual people. And we're still a spiritual people. Because for all that has been done to us, you turn on the TV. When white folks feel that they're threatened, they get guns and they're going to kill somebody. Then they go to court. You go into court. Your brother wrote the law book, and he put the law where he made these lawyers so they can always 3 ways from the middle get out of it what they did. And we still sit there and we protest. We got this one group, the lady saying they've been sexual harassed. You got, they say Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. But what I'm trying to show where it started. And when we were on the Broadway in 102nd for reparations for African Americans that brought here in chains, I don't have to come up with a word to say that if they gave reparations, we're wasting time. If they get reparations only for African, what I'm saying is, I don't have to put another rule on the book saying that reparations only for Africans because we were the only ones in the bottom of them boats. That's self-explanatory. Okay, then we got those that have bought into the 10 Commandments, let's say. And I don't know what the 10 Commandments is. So maybe I know 1 or 2 or 3. But it says, thou shalt not kill. And the other one of them, it says, thou shalt not lie. And when they go into court, you see this guy shoots a guy 8 times, running away. Then he walks up there and put the gun down up under his hand, and then said that he was, when he go into court, he said, I swear to God and all of that. And he tell a lie right away when he put that gun down there. And you see the picture. Now, somebody has to explain something to me. And so, like I said, I'm going to podcast different today was from slavery. Slavery was a crime against humanity. Yesterday and today and forever. Until those who went into South Africa, they took that land and divided it. Then they let Mandela be the president. But they were supposed to give that land back to the Africans and get their butt on out on the boat and go wherever they came from. In Zimbabwe, they divided Zimbabwe in 4 parts. The best land and everything, the rich people got. Then the semi-rich people got. And then the other group of them, they gave the worst land, worst everything to the Africans. And tell them why they ain't doing no good. And like Brother Lumumba said, I love the way he says, but they didn't stop there. Oh, I love that brother. He said that they didn't stop there. And they continue doing it, even to us here, where they divide the families. This one is a Methodist. This was a Jehovah's Witness. This is a born again. This is the day before, yesterday, and after. But they hate us for the same reason, no matter what our religion is. And that's the religion they gave us. I remember when the Mormons didn't let you come nowhere near their church. So in the 70s, the late 70s, they let you come into their church. The same like when I come to California in 1956. Blacks weren't allowed on in Las Vegas on the Strip. That's why I don't give a damn about going there and getting my money. I'm talking to my senior brothers and sisters. I'm talking for you. I'm saying what you won't say or afraid to say. There's a sister in New York was writing on a billboard. She's a senior like myself. And they arrested her. They have arrested 40 black people in New York City for not wearing face masks. And 4 Hispanics and 1 white. This is in our face. I don't watch a regular TV. I only watch Democracy Now! Because it shows what's going on around the world. Then I watch when Al Jazeera was on regular TV and they cut it off because they were telling the truth of what happening around the world. You turn on the TV, you see them bombing them people in Yemen. You go to church and you pray. You see them, the Palestinians being treated like dogs. You sit there and pray. Then I'm not mad. I'm just telling it like it is. When I have a friend, Colonel Emmett Simmons. He was over the tanks that went into Dachau. He was a general contractor in California, just like myself. He built that building on 48th or 49th in Central, 11-story building. And when we used to have meetings, he would come there and he says, you know, there's all kinds of jobs around you and none of y'all working. And he would disrupt our meetings, which was good. And but what I'm getting at is he married, I don't know if he married her, but he had 2 sons by a white lady, a German lady. One name was Franz, one name was Fritz. One was a public accountant and the other was a barrister, which is a lawyer. And I was talking with him. Oh, I like to talk to my brothers and sisters, regardless of their stature in life. We have a tendency, if you're not a big shot lawyer, a big shot doctor, or a big shot this, or a big shot liar, lawyer, or whatever, and the sports, in sports, all of a sudden, because you run good with the football, that don't mean you know about life. Then what they do, they get somebody to be your agent. You're going to get what's due to you no matter what you do. But you sell your soul. Then that person that you paying your money to, he put you with the slave master's daughter or son in order to be control of the wealth. In Washington, D.C., You got the Capitol and the Department of the Treasury. Both of them looking out for each other. So what I'm really, if you really keep listening to me, I'm saying it, and you can be collective how you want to take it. But until we start loving one another, regardless of what the slave master put in our minds, we have to, that's the only way we're going to come out of this. But this world is so big. So big. We can, there's land that they can develop. Each place they develop, every time they develop a place where for people to live, they bring stores. They don't bring hospitals. They don't bring banks, where each individual place where they're building will support one another, and it turns over. You have farmland, you have whatever. Let's think of how we send these people to Congress, to the Senate, to it, all these offices. As soon as they get in there, they start looking how they can make more money. And then they say, well, I can't say this because I might knock me out of getting this. So they're just going in there, what's do you or be you? Because bottom line, when you die, the hearse goes into the graveyard. And if you got any assets or resources or anything, it stays back here for those to fight over. And I feel like what I say fight over is because if you didn't respect that person in life, then what that person leave shouldn't be a part of what you think about, because then you are a hypocrite. And I'm talking from, when I talk, I'm not just talking about what white folks did to us. I talk about what black folks are doing, and I talk about how we can come out of this. I joined the bank, One United, because they said that was the only black bank. And I'm hoping that sister is paying those black people $15 an hour, just like the other banks are. So how we do that? Black people have to go to that bank and support that bank by putting their money in that bank. Then we can demand this lady to do a little better. If we think she's not doing good, whatever. But I'm going to be all over the place. But remember, just because I say at the end of my podcast, slavery was a crime against humanity, I'm making that, I'll give you an example. In the Bible, they got in the back, they got the God, Jesus had bronze foot. That's to give you Novocaine. But they don't put that in the front of the book, where they got this religion together through things they found in Africa. They found all this in Africa. And all them symbols and everything you see, if you think I'm lying, I'm promoting my brothers and sisters, no matter what they believe or how they believe or who they believe in. Hidden colors. The only ones look at it are us, African Americans. That's why I'm saying it out loud on my pods. And I'm so glad that we are shut in. I know how to balance my day. I get on my bike. I fix my breakfast. I do my laundry. I might did my laundry and left it clothes in the dryer last night. And then I take them out and I fold them. I put them up in my room because I'm in a separate room from my wife because when I broke my hip, I have a hospital bed. But I have a full day I can play my music. I can listen to satellite. And I listen to my brothers and sisters on 126 satellite. It starts out in the morning at 3 o'clock, Joe Madison. Then it comes to this sister. She's I'm missing her name, but she knows Coates. She's a lawyer. Then I listen to uh, Brother King, Clay King. Then I listen to Karen Hunter, and then in the afternoon, Al Sharpton. I listen to all them because they are saying what the white folks don't allow on their TV 24/7, 365 days a year. Okay? Then in my outside, I have a gazebo. I love my brothers and sisters in Africa. My first learning of my brothers and sisters in Africa, you seen a white man named Tarzan run, and all them. He did everything and did everything, but anyway. But and then I have a workshop. I make things for my grandchildren, and I'm always doing something. I have a bunch of pictures to my right there that I want to, for each one I make a pile of, and I want to make sure that each one of them get their pictures that I've been making over the years. And then I go in there and I fuss and argue with my wife a few minutes, and well, the argument always stems from she's a Christian, and she think all she have to do is say thank you God or believe in Jesus, and everything gonna be all right. But I believe that you have to get up off your butt and do something in the struggle. And as long the breath I have in my body, I'm going to use the rest of my life talking about what's happening to us and where it started, and not not in the middle where they brought us in the boats. I'm talking about where they stole us from, where our potential was a great thing. We could have been a great people. And then I'm also there's a sister, and I end with this. There's a sister that used to be the attorney general. She was over the African Union. Akana, Sister Akana. She was a doctor in Tennessee for 25 years. And I listen to her every day. She gives me so much inspiration and to know that we are a great people. We don't have to say it. Every resource and anything we got there in Africa. Yet we have that everything we ship to Europe and Europe send it back to us. Why don't we make it, package it, and send it? And then we can each place, and the same thing we can do in America. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying right here in America. This is where my life will end in America. This is my country. And when I went in the army, I didn't go in it because I was patriotic. I went in because that was a way to have a job, which could reach back and help my mother father. I sent my mother $35 a month for 3 years because them days we were family orientated. We helped our family. We did for each other, and I still do it. So anyway, thank you very much. But and still, slavery was a crime against humanity. Thank you very much. I love all my brothers and sisters that love me, and even those that don't love me. Bye.